feel I should re-record this as a better attempt, as I've got some pretty serious brain fog going on. Also, namaste. Alright, this one's all about all the crappy fears that have come true for me. With my diagnosis about 6-ish months back, January 7th, it's June-ish, the 3rd, I've been given nothing but time over the last 6 months to think. The time is everywhere in my short, or sometimes far too long a day. Yes, I am reading from a script. It's the only way I can keep myself straight. I try to be up and moving each day by about noon. On days where I'm left in charge of the kids, happens, I get up around 9 a.m. to start the machine running, then again at 10 to tell them to get to schoolwork, go outside, turn off their electronics, walk a dog, so on and so forth. And finally, my target is noon. I missed that a lot, so my new target is always 2 if I fail the noon. And I just kind of stay in bed. I'm not necessarily asleep. Sometimes I'm just hiding from the general world. Other times I am so weighed down by gravity, is the only way to describe it, I can't get out. Now that was also my first fear come true. Achievement unlocked. Night owl. As I aged, I've enjoyed getting up earlier and earlier. I enjoyed getting up at 6 a.m. on work days. I enjoyed getting up at 8 a.m. on weekdays or on days off. It gave me all the time I needed to get my crap done. With MS, I now have issues with sleep, being awake, and really just reality in general. I sometimes wake up and question where I am. I miss going to bed around 10 p.m. and waking up at 7:30 feeling fairly rested. Now I never feel rested. My body is constantly fatigued. A 1,000 step walk is now a marathon. Having a shower is almost impossible for the amount of energy I have to expend. So, fear of never feeling rested. Achievement unlocked. Night eyes. My next fear is, of course, going to be needles. After 30-some years of this cursed existence, or blessed, 6 one way, half dozen the other, my fear is now coming true. My fear of needles isn't a pass out, it's kind of the gross and ow, that hurts. Why would I do this to myself? I forced myself to sit through all the blood draws and all the vaccines over the years, and I just stare at the needle going in. I hoped it would somehow lessen my fear. It did not. Out of all the needles I have had to receive over the years, and there's been a lot, the IV has always been the worst. I would do anything to avoid them. I have been a safer person. I've avoided snowboarding in the fear that I might blow my knee out, end up in the hospital, get knee surgery, and then have an IV. I've avoided major illnesses by avoiding people's home-cooked foods or foods I wasn't sure about. Now, I get an IV infusion every 4 weeks. 4 weeks-ish. They pump another IV into me. If I'm lucky, they get it on the first poke. I've had to take up to 4. It's never fun. But on the bright side, this is only going to last until I contract a deadly virus that it will kill me, or cripple me. So, achievement unlocked. Pincushion. Next fear on the list, self-dependence. I've been in a codependent relationship for most of my life. Some say adult life. I don't consider my young life to be a life. I consider most of my life to have begun around grade 12-ish. And self-dependence was my big thing. Right now, I can barely walk. Talking is hit or miss. I've had days where I can't even talk. And I don't drive because apparently failing major neurological tests means you can't drive. Those are all small things until I realized what it meant. After 10 years of stay-at-home dad, I would often get more done in a morning than most did in a day. Now I can't even do the dishes, use a stove for safety reasons, or a toaster some nights. I've given myself some pretty cool burns. From super dad to orphaned Batman, all in 12 months. Achievement unlocked. Use a cane. And now, the big fear. The one that I've been hiding for 16 months plus, give or take, 8 to 10 months. As I worked as a care aide before my general practitioner finally did catch on to just how sick I was, I got to work with a lot of people at the end of their lives. One person I met had MS, of course, and they were trapped in a Broda chair or their bed. If you don't know what a Broda chair is, look it up. It's like the most comfortable looking chair any healthy person has ever had the chance of sitting in. The reason they are made so comfortable is because you don't leave it. As I got to know this person, I realized they were clever, smart, quick-witted, whatever term you want to use. On top of that, they were very forward, and they didn't have a huge filter, which I assume is because they were trapped in a Broda chair. The catch was they couldn't talk, they couldn't walk, and they couldn't really move. Their day was wake up and watch TV. Alone. So I quickly took a liking to them. Another one of my lost souls, I called them. And I would just go in there and hang out with them. I would watch TV, I'd keep them updated on the kids. I would be an empathetic presence in their life. They enjoyed not being alone. I enjoyed watching TV on my downtime. As I helped them and spent more time with them, I developed this crushing fear that I would get MS, and I wasn't quiet about it. Anybody who would listen, I said I fear ending up like that. I would not wish MS on my worst enemy. But I kept saying it can't happen to me. I'm not from Saskatchewan. I have no pre-existing risk factors, not that there really are any. It's just not going to happen. Those are my famous last words. As things degraded from June to January, June was when my leg did a weird little jump thing, and January is when they told me my life was essentially over and I needed to build a new one. I was sure it would be anything but MS. I was thinking weeping aneurysms, Lyme disease, brain tumor, you name it, I was sure of it. Finally, the MRI comes. After the MRI, I was convinced it was a weeping aneurysm. I don't know why, massive headaches. I just clung on to it for no good reason. It wasn't. There were brain lesions everywhere. Not just brain lesions, lesions in general. Brainstem, optic nerves, spinal cord, brain, you name it, it's got a lesion. So, this got me rushed into the multiple sclerosis clinic in Saskatoon, some of the greatest people I've met in this field, and I was still sure they were wrong. I did my best to pass their tests, but they already knew the answer. I did their tests, I felt I rocked them. I sat on the bed. In comes a neuro, and that's the end of it. That was the end of my future. Right up to that moment, I was sure it was anything else, and everything just kind of went fuzzy. Vision, everything. I don't really remember the moment. I just remember the sinking feeling, knowing that my plans were gone. There was no nurse practitioner in my future. There was no registered nurse in my future. There was no going somewhere where I can't have all my medications with me, as I need 40 of them. 40 pills a day, plus an IV treatment every month. So, my new reality was set in motion. My fears had come true. Achievement unlocked. Futures lost. Which I guess brings us to the end of this. So, namaste, Seldon.